Namaste, welcome. Thank you for joining me where we'll do a little bit of an express flow and we'll do a few extra core and shoulder stretches to add into our kind of usual hamstring and hip stretches. So we'll start off lying onto our backs. You might need a block for this or something that will work as a block, so maybe a stack of cushions or a book. Lie down onto your backs. And then press into your feet, lift your hips and just slide your block underneath your pelvis. So you want it low down towards your heels, so it feels like the full back of the pelvis is supported by the block. And then stretch your legs out, have your legs straight, let your feet slightly roll out to the sides. So this is to stretch out the hip flexors in your front hip creases. If you're not feeling a stretch, lift the hips higher, so pile more cushions or get bigger books. And then let your upper body relax. You can place your hands onto your belly or arms out to the side, whatever feels good for you. And just take a moment to close your eyes. Take long, deep breaths. Just take a moment to tune in to how you're feeling. Noticing the movement of the breath in the belly, in the chest. And this helps us hone our attention in so we can adjust, we can modify anything by tuning into the sensations in the body. So this is a great stretch to do anytime, and you can hold it for several minutes if it feels good. Because we're doing more of an express flow, we're going to move on. So bend your knees, press into your feet, lift your hips up, and then stretch. In fact, don't stretch your arms, so you can stretch your arms out to the side. Just shuffle your hips over to the left, hook your left leg over your right, and then let your knees fall all the way over to the right. So that might mean that this left arm lifts up, so you can just roll more towards your right side. Take your right hand onto your outer left thigh and then sweep that left arm back out to the left. So you might find that the sensation of this stretch moves more towards the upper back, the shoulders, than when we keep the arms out and take the knees over. So by prioritizing the knees first and then taking the arm over last, it slightly changes the position of the stretch. And then release, lift your knees back up to center, unhook your leg and go the other way, shuffle your hips to the right, hook your right leg over your left, let your knees fall all the way over to the left so they touch down. Take your left hand onto your outer right thigh and then take your right arm up and over to the right. Long deep breaths. Keeping your face soft, your jaw soft. And then lift the knees back up to center. And then straighten your left leg along the mat and hug your right thigh into your chest. And flex your right foot. And let your arms drop out to the side and let your right knee drop out to the side, keeping your right foot flexed. And then straighten your right leg as if you're tracing the edge of the mat with your right foot. Once the leg is straight, turn the foot so it's flexed back up towards the ceiling and repeat. Hug your right thigh into your chest, keep your foot flexed, let the knee drop out to the right, and then straighten your right leg, turn the foot up towards the ceiling. Let's do one more. Hug your right thigh in, drop it out to the side, re-straighten the right leg, foot flexed up towards the ceiling, hug your right thigh in, and just give your thigh a squeeze into the chest. And then drop your right foot down, change inside, straighten your right leg out, bend your left knee, hug your left thigh into your chest. Just staying here for a couple of breaths. A nice way to stretch out the glutes, the lower back. And then release the arms wherever is comfortable. Flex that left foot, let the left knee drop out to the left, and then straighten your left leg as if you're tracing the edge of the mat with the foot. And then once the leg is straight, flex the foot up towards the ceiling, hug your left thigh back in, and then repeat. And then one more, let it drop out to the side, straighten the leg. And then hug your left thigh back in. And then cross your shins, your ankles, rock up and down the spine a few times. Rock all the way up to sit in And then coming forwards again onto your hands and knees, stacking your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, draw your chest forwards, gaze forwards. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. And then imagine you've got a hula hoop on the mat. Start to trace that circle of the hula hoop with your rib cage. So go as high, as wide, as low as feels comfortable, letting the weight shift from side to side. And then change direction. And then pause and sink your bum back to your heels, coming into your child's pose. So normally we keep the arms straight out in front in our child's pose, but to add a little side stretch, just lift your chest and walk your hands over to the left. So keep that right sit bone, the right bum cheek heavy towards your right heel, but crawl your right fingers away. So you feel a stretch all along the right side, so you might feel it around the armpits, the right ribs, all the way towards your right hip. And then release, walk your hands over to the right, keeping that left sit bone heavy. Crawl your left fingers away, relax your head, sink your bum down towards your heel. Long deep breaths. And then walk the hands back forwards, reach the arms forwards as far forward as you can. And then lift up without moving the hands, just come onto your knees and lift your heels up towards your bum. So you want your shoulders stacked over your wrists and you want to be on that fleshy part of the thigh just above the kneecap. If you feel like you're more on the kneecap itself, just walk the knees back a little bit further, draw your shoulders in and then push into your hands, keep your elbows tucked into the side ribs as you lower with control all the way onto your belly. Separate your feet hip distance, press into the tops of the feet. Lift your kneecaps and press your pubic bone down. So all those actions will keep the legs strong, which will help to protect the lower back. And then interlace your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then stretch the knuckles down towards your heels. So you're lifting your chest. Keep your chin slightly tucked in. And then soften your face, soften your jaw. Exhale, release that down. Press into your hands, tuck your toes. Lift up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal the legs, bending one knee at a time. So you're looking for a V shape, an inverted V, a triangle. So you don't want the shoulders over the wrists like you would in a plank. You want to move your chest back towards your legs. So you've got that 45-degree angle. You can take your hands and feet wide, especially if you feel tight and stiff, going a little bit wider. Also going a little bit shorter, bringing the feet a little bit closer to the hands can sometimes release if it feels too much, if it's too tight, if it's too much tension. And then slowly start to straighten your legs. And then walk your feet towards your hands. Put a little bend in the knees. Interlace your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lengthen your chest forwards. Exhale, fold. Relax your head. Relax your neck. And then release. Slowly lift all the way up. And then cross your right leg over your left. So the little toe edges of your feet are touching. Your right knee, your front leg will be slightly bent. Left leg will be straight. Bring your hands onto your hips. Roll the shoulders back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep the spine nice and long as you slowly fold forwards. Keeping your hands either on your hips or you can release them down towards the floor if that feels okay. Relax your head, relax your neck. And then you probably drop the weight back in towards your left heel. So slowly rock a little bit of weight forwards towards the ball of the left foot. So you feel that stretch around your hamstrings, your IT band. And then put your hands back onto your hips, slowly lift up and just change legs. So cross your left leg over your right. Little toe edges of the feet touching. Roll your shoulders back, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lengthen your chest forward, so keep your spine nice and long as you fold. Right leg stays straight, left knee will be bent. And then again, notice where the weight is If it's dropped back into the heel, rock a little bit of weight forwards, either keeping your hands on your hips, or you can drop the hands down. Relax your head, relax your neck. Long, deep breaths. So we're aiming to stay as relaxed as we can, and that'll help us to release tension and develop greater flexibility. And then slowly uncurl back to standing. And then bring your feet together and bend the knees, sink your bum low, drop your chest forward so you can brush your fingertips across the floor. Keep your bum low, but lift your arms up either side of your ears. Drop your bum a little bit lower, and then you can take your hands down, come up onto the balls of the feet, separate your knees wide and sink your bum back towards your heels and stretch your arms forwards. Gently squeezing your thighs towards your outer ribs. Imagine you're trying to sink your bum down towards your heels as you reach your arms forwards. This is a nice way to stretch out the spine, so if you've got any lower back issues, this is a good stretch for the lower back. And then from here, drop down onto your belly, reach your arms forwards, and then slowly lower all the way down with control. Interlace your hands behind your head. Press your lower back down into the mat. And then inhale here. Exhale, lift the head and chest. Inhale, lift the feet so they're in line with the knees. Exhale, drop the feet. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lift the feet and the shins. Exhale, drop the feet. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift the head and chest. Inhale, lift the feet. Exhale, drop the feet. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift head and chest. Inhale, lift the feet. Exhale, drop the feet. Inhale, lower. Let's just do one more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lift the feet. Exhale, lower the feet. Inhale, lower the head and chest. And then take your hands either side of your hips. Walk your heels in towards your bum, still keeping your feet about hip width. And then press into your feet. Lift your hips up. So this is a great way to strengthen the back of the body, but also to stretch out the abdominal muscles from that crunching. So take a few long deep breaths into your belly, gently squeezing your thighs, your knees towards each other so the knees stay stacked over the ankles. And then lower all the way down. Cross your shins, hug your thighs into your chest, rock up and down the spine a few times, and then take your hands forwards, step back into a plank, holding it here, stacking your shoulders over your wrists, push back through your heels, and then lift your hips up and back, downward dog. Exhale, rock forwards into a plank. Inhale, up and back, downward dog. Exhale, forwards into a plank. Inhale, up and back, downward facing dog, and then just stay in your downward dog for a few breaths. You can take your hands and feet wide. You can take a shorter stance. You can pedal the legs if that feels good, bending one knee at a time. And then step your right foot to your right thumb. Drop your left knee down, sliding your left knee as far back as feels comfortable, keeping that right knee stacked over your right ankle. Lift up, interlace your hands and press your hands onto your leg. So as you press, you're moving your chest back. Notice if you're tilting your hips forward, you want to scoop your pubic bone up, lengthen your tailbone down, and as you press into your hands, you should feel a stretch up that front left hip crease. So keeping your pelvis in that position, sweep your arms up, gaze up to the hands. And then exhale, taking your hands down, step back into your plank, push back through the heels, shoulders back away from the ears, and then bend your elbows, keep them tucked in as you lower all the way down onto your belly. Stretch your left arm out to the left, so it's roughly in line with your shoulder, palm facing down. Turn onto the left side of the face, and then roll over onto your left side. And you can just shuffle your hips away from that left arm, so over to the right, to create a little bit of space in that left shoulder socket. This may be plenty just on your side with your legs stacked. Or you may be able to bend your right knee, taking your right foot behind your left leg. Again, that may be plenty. Or you may be able to bend both knees. This is not about how extreme you can get into the stretch. It's more about how it feels. So just stay at whatever level works for you. Making sure you can still breathe. And then release. Come back onto your belly, changing sides. So extend your right arm out, right palm down, right hand level with your right shoulder. Turn onto the right side of the face and then roll over onto your right side. And you just shuffle your hips over to the left. And you can stay here with the legs stacked, or you can bend your left knee, step in your left foot behind your right leg. Maybe bending both knees, and it's likely that one side will feel different to the other, so don't worry, don't try and match the sides. If this side is stiffer, just work to that point where you feel a stretch, but you can still take long deep breaths. And then release, roll back onto your belly, push into your hands, lift up and back, downward facing dog. And again, you can pedal the legs, bending one knee at a time, keeping that inverted V, that triangle shape. And then look at the space between your hands, step your left foot to your left thumb, drop your right knee down. So again, you're sliding your right knee as far back as feels comfortable, left knee stacked over your left ankle, scoop the pubic bone up, lengthen the tailbone down, interlace your hands and press onto your left thigh. So you're pushing your chest back away from the leg until you feel that stretch up that front right hip crease. And then sweep your arms back and up, gazing up to your hands. Exhale, take your hands down, stepping back into your plank, lowering down again all the way onto your belly. So this time extend your left arm out, but then bend your left elbow and take the left elbow slightly forward so it ends up higher than your shoulder. And then turn onto the left side of the face, press into your right hand, roll onto your left side. So this may be plenty. With the elbow bent, it might feel a little bit more intense. So again, you can stay as you are, or you can shuffle your hips towards the right, maybe bending your right knee, stepping your right foot behind your left leg. This is an intense shoulder and pec stretch, so just take it to where it feels okay for you. Long deep breaths. And then release back onto your belly, changing sides. So bending your right elbow and then sliding your right hand, your right forearm forward. So there's still roughly 90-degree angle between your forearm, your upper arm, but your right elbow is slightly further forwards in the right shoulder. Turn onto the right side of your face, roll over onto your right side. And again, you can shuffle your hips over to the left slightly. You can stay with the legs stacked, or maybe bending that left knee, stepping the left foot behind the right leg. Long deep breaths. And then release back onto your belly, press into your hands, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come up onto the balls of the feet, lift your sit bones, keep that lift. Exhale, press your heels back and down. And then step your right foot to your right thumb, drop your left knee down, bring the hands to the inside of the foot. Remember, you can always use blocks or props, whatever you've got, to lift the hands a little bit higher if it feels too much to take them all the way down. Slide your left knee back a little bit more, and then turn your right toes out to point towards 1, 2 o'clock on the clock face, and roll to the little toe edge of your right foot. So you're just letting your right knee drop out to the side, and breathe. If this feels okay and you want to go a little bit deeper, you can always drop onto that left forearm, maybe even dropping on to the right forearm. Again, you can use blocks if you can't go all the way down. Soften your face, soften your jaw. And you can stay exactly as you are, or if you want to try and go for a quad stretch, you can use a belt or a dressing gown tie for this. Reach your right arm back, bend the left knee, see if you can find that left foot, maybe be able to lasso it or wrap a loop around the foot, and then grab the belt, and then squeeze that left heel in towards your bum, roll your right shoulder back, long deep breaths. And then drop your foot down, shuffle your right foot forwards and step back. Just go straight back into downward facing dog. Again, pedal the legs, bending one knee at a time. Look at the space between your hands, step your left foot to your left thumb, drop your right knee down, bringing both hands to the inside of the foot, shuffle your left foot out, turn your left toes towards 10, 11 o'clock. Roll to the little toe edge of your left foot. So I didn't give you this option on the other side, but you can actually take your left hand to the inside of your left leg and gently press that knee away. You can stay up on the hand, or you can try dropping onto your right forearm if you want to go a little bit deeper. And then you can stay exactly as you are, or if you're adding that quad stretch, reach your left arm back, bend your right knee, find your right foot, and gently squeeze your right heel in towards your bum. Again, long deep breaths. And then release, drop your foot back, shuffle that left foot across, tuck your right toes, and step the weight forwards onto your left foot. You can bring your hands forward, you can use a block, but find a 90-degree angle between your legs. Lift that left kneecap, push down through the left heel, push back through the right heel, lengthen your chest forwards and shoulders back, and breathe. And then drop your right foot alongside your left, bend the knees as much as you need, and we're going to change sides. So lift that left leg up and stretch the left heel back. So again, coming onto your fingertips, or use blocks, something underneath your hands to lift. Straighten your right leg as much as you can, lifting your right kneecap, push back through the left heel, lengthen your chest forwards. And then drop the left foot alongside the right. Bend your knees, sink your bum low, brush your fingertips from front to back, lift the arms up either side of the ears, relax the shoulders, sink your bum a little bit lower and a little bit lower again, and then take your hands forwards, separate your knees, coming up onto the balls of the feet, sink your bum down to your heels, stretch your arms forwards, relax your head, relax your neck. And then release, drop down onto your bum, lie all the way down onto your backs with control. Interlace your hands behind your back. Hook both knees into your chest. Lift your head and chest up. Turn your chest so you're facing towards the left. Press your head back into your hands so you're not digging your head forwards. Take your right elbow towards your left knee and then straighten the right leg out. See if you can lift the bottom tips of the shoulder blades up away from the mat. And then change sides, left elbow to right knee, straight left leg, and then change, 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 change. Two more each side, change, 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 and then release. Drop your feet down, take your hands onto your belly, take a couple of long deep breaths. Feel the belly gently lift and spread. And then take your hands either side of your hips. Have your feet hip distance, feet parallel. Press into your feet, lift your hips. Gently squeeze your thighs towards each other. And then release, drop your bum down, hug your thighs into your chest. Slowly roll up and down your spine. Take your hands forwards and just step straight back into downward facing dog. And again, whatever stance feels good for you. So it's shoulder and hip distance, never narrower, but you can go wider and shorter. So press into your hands, press your chest back to your legs. And then step your right foot to your right thumb. Drop your left knee down, slide your left knee as far back as it will go. Lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. So you may just want to stay reaching right up, or you can let your right arm slightly drop back behind. And then bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Just shuffle your right foot across. And you can stay as you are on your hands, or maybe dropping down. You can drop onto your left forearm first, and then maybe the right. And again, maybe using blocks. You don't have to go all the way down onto the mat. But draw the shoulders back, lengthen your chest forwards. You can keep that left knee down, or you can tuck your left toes and just gently rock back and forth, pushing back through that left heel. And then release, drop your left knee down, shuffle your right foot across, step back, downward dog. Gently lifting the kneecaps if the legs are straight, pressing back through the backs of the knees. And then step your left foot to your left thumb, drop your right knee down, keep your right hand down, lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Notice if the shoulders round in towards the ears, spin them out and lean back slightly, maybe even letting that left arm drop back behind so the chest turns up towards the ceiling. And then bringing your left hand to the inside of your left foot. This may be plenty. You might want to pop your hands up onto blocks to give them a little lift. Or if you want to go deeper, drop in maybe first onto your right forearm, maybe onto your left, maybe using blocks. And you can stay with your back knee down, or you can tuck your back toes and slowly start to rock back and forth. And then release. Drop your knee down, slide your left leg back into a plank, and then lower all the way down onto your belly. Bend your left knee out to the left, so you've got a roughly 90-degree angle, and then prop yourself up onto your forearms and try and roll your inner thigh back as if you're trying to roll your glute back. So you're pressing your pubic bone down, lifting the chest. If this is plenty, stay here, or you can even press into your hands, lift a little bit higher. Release. Straighten the left leg, change sides, bend your right knee out to the right knee roughly in line with your hip, right angle between the right thigh and the right knee, and then again prop yourself up onto your forearms. Imagine you're trying to roll that inner thigh back to the wall behind, press your pubic bone down, lift the chest, relax the shoulders away from the ears, maybe even lifting the chest a little bit higher, making sure there's no pinching in the lower back. You want to feel this around the hip. And then release all the way down, straighten the legs back, press into your hands, just cross your shins, your ankles, so you can come to sitting onto your bum. Hook your right ankle just above your left knee, lift up nice and tall. So this may already be plenty for that right hip. Keep your right foot flexed, and then if you want to go a little bit deeper, lean back so you can bend your left knee, press into your left fingers, lift your chest up towards the ceiling. Keeping that right foot flexed. And then lean back, re-straighten that left leg, drop the right foot down and change sides. Hook your left ankle just above your right knee. And again, this may be plenty. You can just stay upright here, keeping the left foot flexed, letting that left knee drop down towards the earth. Or if you want to go a little bit deeper, lean back, bend your right knee, press into your fingers, lift the chest up towards the leg. And then release, lean back, straighten that bottom leg and straighten your left leg, and then bend both knees, wrap your forearms behind your thighs, let your chin drop down towards your knees, keep your chest in contact with your legs and start to slide your heels forwards. So as soon as your chest leaves your legs, that is where you hold and stay. Just working the legs towards straight, to wherever feels comfortable. Relax your head, relax your neck. Long, deep breaths. Feel the movement of the breath in the back of the body. And then slowly ease out. Push yourself up. Just come into a comfortable seated position. Rest your hands onto your legs. Just close your eyes for a few moments. Take a moment to notice how you're feeling. And then bring your hands together into prayer. Namaste. Thank you so much. Take care. See you again soon.